The All Blacks have released their squad for the 2026 first 3 rounds of the Nations Championship. I am so excited to see the All Blacks play again. Now, I've grown up as a Springbok fan, but there's always something. I can never ever miss an All Blacks game. I love watching the All Blacks play. It's probably the team outside of my Springbok team that I have the most respect for in international rugby. I love Super Rugby. I've always grown up watching Super Rugby as well. I've always been interested in the All Blacks team, and this squad right here is very exciting. There's a mixture of youth, experience, and guys actually getting rewarded for good form as well. Of course, there's a few guys that maybe haven't been included that I thought would be, and I mean, I was just saying off the bat, like a Duplessis Karifi as well. I will go a bit more into depth on that, but do I think he would have started? Honestly, I don't, but I'm going to go more into depth for that. But if you do enjoy the content, please don't forget to like and subscribe to help the channel grow. I appreciate all the support. I really do. All the comments, everything, positive or negative, I always appreciate it. And if you are an All Blacks fan as well, or if you just are an international rugby fan in general, I will be covering every single team for the Nations Championship. It's going to be a lot to get through, but there's going to be predicted lineups coming out this week as well, player ratings for next week's games, match reactions, match previews. There's going to be so much content coming out. So if you do enjoy the content, please hit the subscribe button and stick around because it's going to be very fun. Now let's see what is the first squad Dave Rennie has selected as the coach. I just have to say as well, I am so excited about Dave Rennie being the coach. He just gives me that, you know, you can just see he's so proud to be the All Blacks coach, and I really do appreciate that when coaches are just out there so proud to be part of the jobs. They know how much it means to them and how much it means to the country and to the players as well. So that also makes me so excited. Don't even get me started on the greatest rivalry talk, because I cannot wait for that as well. So that's another reason to subscribe if you enjoy the content. So let's start off here with the loose head props. They've gone for Ethan de Groot, George Bower, and Xavier Numia. I hope that's how I say it. Some of you guys, please help me out in the comments with some of the names, because there are a few guys that are newer guys in the team sheets, especially once we get towards the back three where it gets a bit more difficult for the pronunciations. But Xavier Numia for the Hurricanes this year in the Super Rugby was absolutely awesome. Those final 2 weeks, I really do think, are the 2 weeks that really set him apart from the rest. He's explosive, he's got good footwork, he does good things in good games when it matters most. I think he's going to be an excellent addition to the squad. But of course, you do have guys like Ethan de Groot as well. And it's unfortunate with regards to the props as well. No Tamati Williams in the prop ranks this year. I really hope he recovers as fast as possible, because he is one of my favorite All Blacks players as well. But I really do hope to see a lot more of Xavier Numia this year. And of course, George Bower is a great player, but I think Ethan de Groot might just be the guy that gets to start there. Now looking at the hookers, Asafu Amua, Cody Taylor, and Samasoni Takiyaho. That is the best group of hookers currently in international rugby. Now, a few years ago, I would say with Bongi Mbonambi and Malcolm Marx, when Bongi was in his prime, that probably was the better group. This right now is by far the best group of hookers in international rugby. I mean, Asafu Amua, Cody Taylor, and Samasoni Takiyaho would probably make any 23 in the entire world in rugby. Obviously, separately, they would make any 23 in world rugby. I fully believe that. How they start those guys is going to be very interesting, but I do have a video coming out soon about my predicted lineup. But I will just say, I probably do think Cody Taylor will get the start. His game does suit the starting lineup, the way they kind of grind teams down. But you can't look past Asafu Amua. This guy, if you've been seeing the videos the last few days, he is my favorite All Blacks player. He honestly has the potential to be not even the best hooker in the world. He has the potential to be the best rugby player in the world. If this guy does what he did in the last 2 weeks for the Super Rugby at international level, he will win World Player of the Year. That is my big prediction. If he can get more game time very soon, Asafu Amua, if he can just get a few things sorted out, and especially with this game, just iron a few things out, he will become the World Player of the Year. He has what it takes. He is probably the most powerful rugby player in the world, and he is the one guy I can't look past for being in that conversation for the best hooker this year if he does get more game time. So how they manage those three is going to be very interesting, but they've got a really good group of hookers there who all will have some very good game time throughout the year. So for me, I'm starting Cody Taylor and having Asafu Amua on the bench when it matters most. I think when push comes to shove as well, if Asafu Amua is showing he has what it takes to start, I think in his form right now, you can't not start him. But Cody Taylor is one of the best number 2s of all time. Samasoni Takiyaho recently has been absolutely incredible in the black jersey. So I think the All Black squad is blessed with some really good hookers there. So that's awesome to see. Moving on to tight tip prop, we have Tyrell Lomax, Fletcher Newell, and Pasili Tosi. Pasili Tosi also this year was really good in the Super Rugby. Tyrell Lomax has that experience. He's a phenomenal player. And of course, Fletcher Newell is a fun player to watch always. I really enjoy watching him play. He's physical, he's good at scrum time. And I think all these guys now from the All Blacks, over the last few years, they've been considered inexperienced players, inexperienced rugby internationals. All these guys right now are experienced. Most of them experienced the World Cup final. Most of them have experience beating probably all the teams in World Rugby at least once. I mean, they've beaten Ireland once, they've beaten New Zealand once, they've beaten the Springboks once as well. They all know how to beat the best teams. It's just about them doing it consistently right now. But I do like that group of front rowers for New Zealand. It's a very good group of rugby players. Now moving on to the locks, this is where it gets a bit more interesting. Sam Darry, Josh Lord, Tupavai, and Patrick Tuipulotu. It makes a big difference not seeing a Scott Barrett there. I know the rest of the world loves to kind of diminish Scott Barrett's impact, but he's a very good player, and when he does get it right, he plays extremely good rugby. I'm not too sure what is going to be the combination there for the All Blacks for at lock. I'm going to have to think about it, but right now I think the first guy on the team sheet from those guys will be Tupavai. I mean, Sam Darry's been awesome, Josh Lord's been awesome as well. I don't know if Patrick Tuipulotu will be a starter right now, but maybe they do want an experienced guy there, a guy with a calm head to just come in and play at that level who's been there before with the big guys as well. So I will say they do look a little bit thin at lock right now, but there maybe are some other guys that can be utilities as well, but they do look a bit thin at lock. That's one thing I will say. But let me know in the comments down below who you see as your starting combination at lock, because it will help me out as well, because I'm not too sure either. Looking at the back rowers, they've gone for Luke Jacobson, Peter Lakai, Simon Parker, Artie Savia, Anton Segna, and Wallace Atiti. So I'm pretty sure I know who the starting lineup is going to be. I mean, Peter Lakai, Artie Savia, and Wallace Atiti. Whoever they play in the loose forwards, whether it's 6, 7, or 8, I'm not too sure where that's going to be. I think it will be between Luke Jacobson and Simon Parker for who is on the bench. I mean, Anton Segna's had an awesome year, but I'm not too sure if they will just chuck him in the deep end right away. But I guess only time will tell, and maybe they do stuff like that this year. I'm pretty sure Xavier Numia might get chucked in the deep end, so maybe they will for other games. I think maybe for the Italy game, we'll see a lot more of those guys playing. I think for the Italy game, we really will see maybe a bit less of some of the main guys and a few different combinations, which for me as a neutral will be honestly very fun to see. But let's move on to the backline. At scrum off, we have Kyle Preston, Cortez Ratimer, and Cam Roygard. I mean, Cam Roygard will probably be the number one choice on the team list no matter what going forward. He is probably the best scrum half in the world on any given day. He is a phenomenal rugby player, and I think that does kind of determine who is the fly half as well, but I will get into that. I do think the backup will be Cortez Ratimer. Kyle Preston's had a good year. He maybe has that opportunity with Cortez Ratimer not being that good recently at international level, where Kyle Preston he honestly can come into the fray and make an impression as the guy that needs to be the backup. But I think right now for the big games, when it comes to international rugby, you play the guys that are tried and tested, and you try find games or scenarios where you can try and test other players as well. So I think it will be Cam Roygard starting, probably with Cortez Ratimer coming off the bench. But moving on to fly half, Beauden Barrett, the legendary Beauden Barrett, the legendary Damian McKenzie, and of course the young and up and coming Ruben Love. Now, I think it's going to be Ruben Love at fly half. I am not the biggest Ruben Love fan in the world. I do think he's a great player. I actually haven't watched that much of him to be a big fan. I really normally become bigger fans of players once they play international rugby, and I think Ruben Love has what it takes to be a very good player at international level. But I think having Cam Roygard at number 9 makes sense to have a guy like Ruben Love starting at number 10 as well. We can see what he can do in those big games, and when things do click for him, it works out really well. He can also have a very off day as well, but I think at that level, with the guys he's surrounded by, he more than likely is in the best position to play the best rugby possible alongside a guy like Cam Roygard, who they've been tearing things up for the Hurricanes this year. So for me, it makes sense to play Ruben Love. You're a year out from a World Cup. You know what Beauden Barrett's going to give you. You know what Damian McKenzie is going to give you. So I think Ruben Love makes sense to play here. Regarding the bench spot, I do think Damian McKenzie might be the guy to come off the bench. We saw what he did last year against Scotland. He's a really good player at coming off the bench and making a massive impact. I mean, I'll never forget 2017 against the Springboks at Newland Stadium. He was starting in the 15 jersey, but it was at the end of the game where he just sliced through the Springbok team, and he set up the try in the corner. I don't know if he actually scored the try or if he set up the try, but he's the one that really sliced through the Springbok team when it matters most. And I think he's just a really good second half player with his explosive ability, with how quick he is, with how quick his decision making is as well. I don't know if he's the starter right now. based on how he's been playing recently. And I think Beauden Barrett, just looking at that, probably is the third choice as well. Now moving on to the centres, we have Jordie Barrett, Anton Leonard-Brown, Billy Proctor and Quinn Tupaia. That's a really good centre combination there. There's some really good combinations there. For me, in my honest opinion, the best two players need to be the two centres. You can accommodate for a guy that maybe isn't the most natural 13. You can accommodate for that. I think Jordie Barrett and Quinn Tupaia need to be the centres. Billy Proctor's been good. He's good in open play. I don't think he should be the centre right now if you have a Quinn Tupaia and if you have a Jordie Barrett. In that final this week, Jordie Barrett was absolutely phenomenal. He was incredible. He was playing some incredible rugby. He set up most of the tries and he was part of that engine room, part of those moments that created the wider, bigger, more important moments. He's the one that initially created those big plays as well. So Jordie Barrett, you can't look past how important he is for the team. And Quinn Tupaia, I think he was named Super Rugby Player of the Year or something like that, something along those lines, and you have to have a really good season for that to happen. And I think when it comes to the centre position, same for South Africa with Andre Esterhuizen, you have to reward form, and Quinn Tupaia has been the guy in form for the All Blacks. He thoroughly deserves to be there. Who you play at 13, I'm pretty sure for me, I'd have Jordie Barrett at 12 just because he has that presence of being an extra playmaker as well. And I'd play Quinn Tupaia at 13 because he can run those hard lines. He can be that guy on the outside channel as well. But yeah, I don't think you can't not choose Jordie Barrett or you can't not choose Quinn Tupaia either. You want the best guys on the field. Throughout the season, they can build that combination. That's just how I see it as well. And looking at the back three, Leroy Carter, Caleb Clark, Fehi Fayanganofu. That's the one I'm struggling with. That's the one I was scared to see. I saw that one from the props. I was looking at that one. I was scared of that one the entire way down the list. But Fehi Finyanganofu, please help me out in the comments with that one. He is an awesome player. He's been absolutely electric. When I first saw what he looked like, I was like, there's no ways this guy's that quick. There's no ways this guy's that good. And I've been watching him in the Super Rugby. He's been electric. He's a hot stepper. He beats his defenders one-on-one. He has so much explosive power as well. For me, he has to play. And of course, there's Josh Morby as well, who is also a guy that could potentially make his debut, and Will Jordan. So for me there, what I see is as well, same with some of the other teams as well. Yes, a guy might not be a left wing outright, or he might not be a right wing, but you have to play your best wingers there. For me, Caleb Clark and Fehi Finianganofu have to be the two wingers. With the form he's in, I'm just going to call him Fehi. Fehi has to be the guy that he has to play in wing, and I think he has to be one of those guys that he's ready for that level. He looks ready for that level. Put him alongside guys like a Jordie Barrett, like a Cam Roygard, like a Ruben Love. He knows how to play with him. He's going to feel at home. For him, it's just going to be like him playing against a different team but wearing a black jersey. That's how I see it. You have to play a guy like him, and I think Will Jordan has to be the fullback. And that, Caleb Clark, Fehi Finianganofu and Will Jordan would be absolutely electric as a back three. I mean, that is absolutely awesome. It has to be said though, no Rieko Ioane, which I was quite interested to see. Honestly, I thought he was going to be in the squad just because of how much experience he has and because of the name behind him. But Dave Rennie is not playing around. He's playing players based on form, and I think he will choose players based on form as well. For him right now, he has to find players that buy into the culture, buy into the system, and that even if they are new players, have to play with the same confidence they do at club. But I think Dave Rennie is going to be 100% the right guy for these guys to play at their best ability. He's going to bring the best out of these guys. I was so upset when he left the Wallabies because I thought he was doing a great job with the Wallabies with how bad they were and how much better they were getting. So the fact he can do that with a Wallabies team that was struggling like that, I think he can do some really good things with this team. But I will be doing a preview coming out for the Nations Championship probably after this. I'll go through the squad, go through their games, go through who I think is going to play, and go through who I think are the players to watch as well. So stay tuned for that. There's also a lot more content coming out. The predicted lineup for their first game against France is coming out soon as well. I'm excited for that one. If you agree with some of the things I say, let me know in the comments, please. And also, if you disagree, let's have a chat about it as well. I will always respond to the comments, but I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.